Hey there, orchid lovers! Today, I'm going to share with you a super simple and natural way to care for your orchids using aloe vera, something you can easily do at home without needing any chemical fertilizers at all. It's a quick little trick, but honestly, it makes a big difference in helping your orchids grow healthy and strong. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel so we can keep growing together and sharing more plant care tips. Alright, let's get into it. Now, to keep your orchid healthy and thriving, the first thing we need to do is remove any weeds, black moss, or rotting roots. These can block airflow, trap too much moisture, and create the perfect conditions for disease. So make sure everything around the base of the plant is clean and tidy. It's a small step, but it makes a big difference in the long run. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is take a spray bottle filled with clean, room temperature water and gently mist the entire plant, from the leaves to the aerial roots. Now, this might seem like a small step, but it actually plays a really important role in helping your orchid absorb nutrients better. When we mist the plant like this, what we're really doing is waking it up. The moisture encourages the stomata, which are these tiny openings mostly found on the underside of the leaves, to open up. Think of stomata like little breathing holes. When they open, the plant can better exchange gases, take in humidity, and most importantly, absorb nutrients from whatever solution we apply next. Plus, misting also helps increase local humidity around the orchid, which is something they naturally love. It mimics their native tropical environment, where moisture is often in the air, and helps reduce plant stress. Alright, now let's get some cinnamon powder ready. Just regular ground cinnamon, the same kind you might use in the kitchen, works perfectly. Cinnamon is actually an amazing natural antifungal and antibacterial agent. Use 1 spoon. Like this. Now go ahead and pour about 500 milliliters of warm water into a clean container. We're going to use this to help dissolve the cinnamon powder. Warm water works best because it helps release the beneficial compounds in the cinnamon more effectively. Stir the solution. Soak it for 30 minutes. Prepare 1 aloe vera leaf. If you have a plant at home, just cut off a mature, thick leaf. Those are usually packed with gel. Aloe vera is amazing for orchids. Now we're going to cut the aloe vera leaf into small pieces. Doing this helps release all the beneficial compounds inside the leaf, especially the gel, which is packed with nutrients, vitamins like B and C, amino acids, and natural growth hormones. By cutting it into smaller chunks, we increase the surface area, which makes it easier for those good things to mix into water or blend into a solution later on. It's kind of like unlocking everything the plant has to offer, so your orchid can soak it all up more effectively. Put it into the jar. Pour 500 milliliters of water. Stir the solution. Soak it for 30 minutes. After about 30 minutes, once all the nutrients from the cinnamon powder have had time to infuse into the water, go ahead and give the mixture a good stir to make sure everything is nicely blended. Then, we're going to strain the solution using a fine mesh strainer or cloth to remove any leftover cinnamon particles. What we want is that rich, slightly golden liquid. That's where all the antifungal and healing properties are. It's gentle, natural, and super helpful for keeping your orchid healthy and protected, especially after repotting or pruning. Once we've strained the cinnamon water and it's ready to go, the next step is to mix in the aloe vera. Just take those small aloe pieces we cut earlier, or the gel if you've already scooped it out, and add them straight into the cinnamon solution. Give it a gentle stir so everything starts to blend together. This mix is super powerful because you're combining two natural powerhouses: cinnamon, which protects the plant by fighting off bacteria and fungi, and aloe vera, which boosts growth, strengthens the roots, and helps the plant recover from stress. Alright, so the first step we're going to do is use this special mixture, the aloe vera and cinnamon water, to gently clean the leaves of our orchid. And honestly, this part is super important. You see, aloe vera is packed with vitamins, enzymes, and minerals that help the orchid stay lush and green. It's like giving your plant a boost of natural energy, helping it recover from any stress or damage it might have gone through. Meanwhile, cinnamon acts as a natural guardian, fighting off bacteria and fungi that can cause problems like leaf spots or root rot. So when you combine these two, you're basically creating a gentle, natural tonic for your orchid's leaves. Now, when you start wiping the top side of the leaves, you're actually helping the plant in a really cool way. The surface of the leaf has these tiny little openings called stomata. Think of them as the plant's breathing pores. When you clean off any dust or grime on the top, you help these stomata open up more easily. And why does that matter? Well, these pores are essential for photosynthesis. That's how the plant takes in sunlight and carbon dioxide to make its food. So the cleaner the top surface, the better your orchid can breathe and produce energy, which means it grows stronger and more vibrant. On the flip side, the underside of the leaves is often where dust, dirt, and even tiny pests like red spider mites like to hang out. Cleaning the underside is just as important because it clears away all that buildup and lets the stomata underneath do their job properly. When the underside is clean, your orchid can regulate moisture better and exchange gases freely. Basically, it helps the plant stay balanced and healthy. Something to keep in mind: it's best to do this wiping either in the morning or in the late afternoon or evening. Why? Because the sun isn't as intense then, so the plant can absorb the nutrients from the aloe and cinnamon mixture without getting stressed or sunburned. If you wipe your orchid when the sun is blazing overhead, the moisture on the leaves can act like tiny magnifying glasses and actually burn the leaves, which we definitely want to avoid. So timing really matters here. And hey, if you can, try to do this leaf cleaning once or twice a week. It doesn't take long, but it makes a huge difference over time. You'll start noticing your orchid looking fresher, with leaves that shine with health. And you'll give your plant the best chance to bloom beautifully and keep growing strong. So yeah, even though it might seem like a small, simple thing, wiping your orchid's leaves with this natural aloe and cinnamon mix is like giving it a little spa day. It refreshes the plant, helps protect it, and keeps it thriving in the long run. Alright, so for step 2, what we're going to do is take that aloe vera and cinnamon mixture, you know, the one we prepared earlier, and pour it into a spray bottle to create a fine mist. This method is honestly a game changer, especially for those of you who have busy schedules, but still want to keep your orchid collection looking lush and vibrant without spending hours on plant care every day. Using a spray bottle to mist the orchid with this natural solution makes the plant's life a lot easier. Instead of soaking the roots or leaves with heavy water, which can sometimes lead to issues like root rot if done too much, misting creates a gentle and even layer of moisture that the orchid can absorb little by little. This kind of gentle hydration is actually how orchids are used to receiving water in their natural environment in the wild. They often get moisture from the air in the form of mist and light rain rather than heavy watering. Now, this misting doesn't just provide moisture. It also helps the orchid absorb those powerful nutrients from the aloe vera and cinnamon. Since orchids can take in nutrients not only through their roots, but also through their leaves and aerial roots, spraying the solution directly onto those areas ensures the plant gets the full benefit. The aloe vera brings in vitamins, amino acids, and natural growth hormones, while the cinnamon helps protect the plant from pests and fungal infections. Together, this spray acts like a natural tonic, giving your orchid an all-around health boost. Another big plus is how misting raises the humidity around your plants. Orchids naturally thrive in humid, tropical climates where the air is moist and warm. When the surrounding air is more humid, the orchid's roots can breathe easier and won't dry out as fast. The leaves stay fresh and don't get crispy or shriveled. This balanced moisture environment supports both root and leaf development, making sure your orchid grows strong from the inside out. Here's a cool fact you might find interesting. Orchids have special aerial roots that can absorb water and nutrients right from the air. So spraying them with this nutrient-rich mist helps those roots soak up everything they need without having to depend entirely on watering the soil or bark. It's like giving your orchid a refreshing shower full of vitamins and natural defenses. So, moving on to step 3, what we're going to do is give the orchid a really good, thorough watering using that aloe vera and cinnamon mixture. This isn't just a quick spray anymore. Here, we want the roots to soak up all those amazing minerals and nutrients deeply. When you water your orchid like this, the roots have a chance to fully absorb the natural goodness from the aloe and cinnamon, which helps them grow stronger and healthier from the inside out. We recommend doing this deep watering about 3 times every 2 weeks. That way, your orchid gets a consistent supply of those vital nutrients without being overwhelmed. But here's an important thing to keep in mind. You only want to let the roots soak in this solution for about 20 minutes at most. If you leave the roots sitting in the water for too long, it can actually backfire. The roots might start to rot because they're getting too much moisture and not enough oxygen, which is a common problem if orchids are overwatered. Now, talking about the minerals in aloe vera and cinnamon. Aloe vera is rich in vitamins like A, C, and E, along with amino acids and enzymes that promote cell growth and repair. These compounds help the roots heal faster if they're damaged and encourage new root development, which means your orchid can take up water and nutrients more efficiently. Cinnamon, on the other hand, acts as a natural antifungal and antibacterial agent. It protects the roots from harmful pathogens that could cause rot or other diseases, giving your orchid a safer, healthier environment to grow. Soak it for 20 minutes. After letting the orchid soak in the nutrient-rich aloe vera and cinnamon solution for about 20 minutes, it's time to carefully remove the plant from the mixture. This soaking period allows the roots to fully absorb the essential minerals and benefits from the solution. But it's important not to leave the plant in the liquid any longer to avoid oversaturation. Gently lifting the orchid out ensures you don't damage the delicate roots. And by doing this, you're helping the plant take in exactly what it needs without risking root rot or other issues caused by prolonged exposure to moisture. After 24 days of consistent attention and using the aloe vera and cinnamon treatments, the leaves of your orchid will show remarkable improvements. First off, you'll notice that the color has deepened into a rich, vibrant green. Not just any green, but a lush, almost glossy tone that reflects the plant's renewed vitality. The leaves will feel firmer to the touch, indicating they're fully hydrated and healthy inside, rather than soft or wilted like before. If you look closely, the leaf surfaces will be smooth and free from any dust, dullness, or damage. You won't see any yellowing edges or brown tips, which often signal nutrient deficiencies or stress. The texture of the leaves will be more resilient and supple, not brittle or dry, but pleasantly flexible, which means the plant's cellular structure is strong and functioning well. You might even catch a subtle, natural shine reflecting off the surface, as if the leaves have been lightly polished by nature itself. After 24 days of consistent care using the aloe vera and cinnamon solution, you'll see a remarkable transformation in your orchid's root system. Healthy roots will look plump and firm, showing they're well hydrated and full of life. Their color typically shifts to a vibrant light green or silvery gray hue, which means the vellum and spongy outer layer of the roots is functioning properly to absorb moisture and nutrients from the environment. When you gently touch the roots, they should feel supple yet sturdy, not brittle or dried out. This balance of firmness and flexibility is a strong indicator that the roots are healthy and capable of supporting the plant effectively. The root tips, especially, will look smooth and rounded without any signs of browning or softness, which are common symptoms of root rot or damage. Do you ever wonder if simple kitchen ingredients could be the secret to making your orchid garden bloom beautifully? Honestly, you might be surprised. If you haven't tried the trick of using charcoal and katuk leaves to care for your orchids, then trust me, this is one of those natural methods you'll want to remember. It's easy, safe, and incredibly effective. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to save this tip for later. Let's keep our orchids healthy and glowing the natural way, orchid lovers. Removing damaged or rotting roots and unhealthy leaves from an orchid isn't just a matter of appearance. It's a crucial step grounded in plant care science. When roots begin to rot, usually due to overwatering, poor drainage, or fungal infection, they lose their ability to absorb water and nutrients. Worse, these decaying roots can become breeding grounds for bacteria and fungi, which may quickly spread to healthy root systems. If left untreated, the entire root structure can collapse, leading to a weakened plant or even death. Similarly, yellowing, wilted, or damaged leaves no longer contribute effectively to photosynthesis. Instead, they continue to draw energy from the plant just to stay attached. By removing these leaves, we reduce unnecessary stress on the orchid and redirect its energy toward maintaining and growing healthy tissue. Alright, let's start by preparing a handful of fresh katuk leaves. Just pick the tender ones if you can. They're packed with nutrients and perfect for what we're going to do next. Katuk leaves are actually quite amazing when it comes to plant care, especially for orchids. They're rich in vitamins, minerals, and natural antioxidants that help strengthen the plant's overall health. When used as a natural fertilizer or foliar spray, katuk can boost the orchid's resistance to common diseases and pests, making the plant more resilient in different growing conditions. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to support me and never miss any orchid care tips. Now, go ahead and put those katuk leaves into the blender. This step helps break down the leaves into a fine mixture, so all those good nutrients can easily mix with water later on. Blending the leaves makes it much easier for the plant to absorb the beneficial compounds when we apply the solution. Pour 500 milliliters of water. Filter the katuk solution through a fine sieve or strainer. And remember, don't throw away the leftover pulp. That residue is actually a fantastic natural green fertilizer that you can use to nourish other plants in your garden. It's a great way to recycle nutrients and keep everything eco-friendly and healthy. Let's let the solution rest for 15 minutes. Alright, so now let's get some charcoal ready. You don't need a huge amount, just a small handful is enough. Charcoal might seem simple, but it actually plays a really important role in plant care, especially for orchids. It's known for its ability to detoxify and purify, and when used in the soil or as a solution, it helps absorb toxins, balances moisture. Crush the charcoal into fine powder or small pieces. This is super helpful for orchids because they're quite sensitive to root rot and bacterial buildup. Charcoal creates a cleaner environment around the roots, which keeps the plant healthy and helps prevent diseases. Pour 500 milliliters of water. Hey, have you ever tried using something like this before for your orchids? It might sound a bit unusual using charcoal and katuk, but it actually works wonders. Soak it for 20 minutes. After soaking the charcoal in water for about 20 minutes, now it's time to give it a good stir so all those beneficial elements get. Then, go ahead and strain it through a fine mesh or cloth to remove any remaining chunks or residue. This gives us a smooth, clean liquid that's gentle enough to use on orchids, while still carrying all the purifying and nourishing benefits of the charcoal. So in this part, we're going to take a closer look at how we can use our charcoal solution to gently wipe down the orchid leaves. Now, I know it might sound a little unusual, charcoal in orchids, but honestly, this step is super important, and there's real science behind it. So, charcoal contains essential trace minerals like potassium, calcium, and magnesium. These minerals aren't just good for soil, they actually help in strengthening the leaf structure and promoting healthier growth overall. What's interesting is that charcoal also has excellent natural antibacterial properties. When we use this solution to wipe the leaves, we're not just cleaning them, we're also creating a protective layer that helps fight off fungal spores and some pests that might try to settle in. Let's talk about how we clean the leaves properly. When we wipe the top side of the leaf, what we're really doing is encouraging the stomata, the little pores on the leaf surface, to breathe better. See, these tiny pores open and close to help the plant with gas exchange, mainly absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. When they're clogged up with dust or dirt, the plant struggles to photosynthesize efficiently. So by gently cleaning the surface, we're making it much easier for the plant to absorb light and convert it into energy. Now, when we flip the leaf over and clean the underside, this part is just as important. Why? Because this is where a lot of pests like to hide out, especially spider mites, mealybugs, and aphids. Cleaning this area helps remove their eggs or residues, and at the same time, it clears off any excess moisture or grime that might lead to fungal infections. This bottom layer also contains stomata, so keeping it clean allows for proper respiration, especially when the humidity gets a little too high. Using a natural charcoal solution like this not only gives your orchid a cleaner surface to breathe and grow, but it also adds a light coating of natural antimicrobial protection. That's why, over time, you'll probably notice fewer pest problems and less chance of rot, especially in more humid environments. Oh, and a quick tip? Try doing this early in the morning or late in the afternoon. That way, the leaves won't get burned if the sun gets too strong. Midday sun, especially when the leaf surface is still wet, can cause little sunspots or stress the plant. If you're someone who enjoys spending time with your orchids, this can even become a kind of relaxing ritual-like plant therapy, honestly. And if you're tight on time, you only need to do this once or twice a week. It makes such a difference. You're not just giving your plant a surface level clean, you're helping it perform better from the inside out. So yeah, if you've never tried this before, it's totally worth doing. It's such a small step, but it can have a really big impact on the overall health of your orchids. And remember, a healthy plant is always more resilient and long-lived, no matter what kind of flowers it puts out later. Alright, now that we've got both the charcoal water and the Katuk leaf extract prepared, it's time to bring them together. Just gently pour the charcoal water into the container with the Katuk leaf solution. As you do this, you'll notice the mixture takes on a rich, earthy tone. That's a great sign. What we're doing here is combining the detoxifying power of charcoal with the nutrient-rich properties of Katuk. Now, when you're spraying your orchids, try to aim mostly at the leaves, especially the undersides, and a bit on the aerial roots if they're exposed. These parts are where orchids naturally take in moisture and nutrients. You'll notice that the leaves might look a little glossy after. That's great. It means the leaf surface is coated evenly, and the plant is ready to absorb what it needs. What I really like about this method is that it mimics the natural dew and humidity orchids are exposed to in the wild, like those early morning forest mists. You're basically creating a little microclimate around the plant. And the charcoal? It's not just a trendy ingredient. It actually plays a key role here. Because of its porous structure, charcoal can hold onto trace minerals and slowly release them. It also helps neutralize toxins and reduce odors or fungal spores in the area, sort of like a natural purifier for your plant's surroundings. As for Katuk, it's one of those underappreciated greens. A lot of people know it as a nutritious vegetable for humans, but its natural phytonutrients and antioxidants also support plant cell health. It helps in leaf recovery, boosts photosynthesis, and may even strengthen plant immunity against certain environmental stresses, which is especially helpful during seasonal changes or after repotting. Now, if your schedule is tight, this misting method is honestly a game changer. You don't need to do anything elaborate. Just once a week, maybe on a Sunday morning or a quiet evening, spray your orchids lightly. It doesn't take more than a couple of minutes, and it makes such a big difference over time. It's especially handy if you have a large collection and you want a quick way to keep them all hydrated and fed without having to soak each one individually. And again, just a gentle reminder, when your orchid is blooming or has flower buds forming, try to avoid spraying the flowers directly. Flowers are delicate, and they don't absorb nutrients the same way as the leaves. If you keep the mist on the foliage and roots, you'll get the best results. Healthy leaves, strong roots, and longer-lasting blooms. So yeah, this little spray method is not just convenient. It's also effective, gentle, and completely natural. Plus, it's super satisfying to make your own orchid tonic from everyday kitchen ingredients. I mean, who would have thought Katuk and charcoal could make such a great team for orchids, right? Alright, now we're moving into the third step, and this one is super important. It's all about deep nourishment through the roots. So what we're gonna do is give the entire plant a good soak using our katuk and charcoal solution. You'll want to pour the solution gently into a container or basin that's just big enough to hold your orchid's pot or root system, depending on how you grow it. Then, carefully place your orchid inside, letting the roots soak in that rich, nutrient-packed water. Now, this soaking process should only last about 20 minutes, and that's really key. 20 minutes is just enough time for the roots to absorb the beneficial minerals and organic compounds from both the katuk leaves and the charcoal without staying too wet. If we leave the roots soaking longer, the moisture can build up and create conditions that are too humid, which can lead to root rot, and that's something we always want to avoid with orchids. This soaking routine, when done 2 to 3 times every 2 weeks, really helps give your orchid a consistent source of organic nutrients. You'll start noticing stronger roots, brighter leaves, and better overall growth. And again, we're doing this without a single drop of synthetic fertilizer. Just clean, natural ingredients straight from your kitchen and garden. So, if you've been looking for a root care routine, it's both effective and easy to do, I highly recommend giving this method a try. Orchids are surprisingly responsive to natural care, especially when it's consistent and gentle like this. Soak it for 20 minutes. Alright, so after about 20 minutes of soaking, once the roots have had enough time to absorb all those amazing nutrients from the charcoal and katuk solution, we're going to gently lift the orchid out of the water. Let it drain naturally, no need to rush. You can place it on a clean surface or let the excess water drip out in a shaded area with good airflow. This is a really important step because while soaking is great, leaving the roots in water for too long can actually backfire. If the roots stay wet too long, they might become waterlogged, and that could lead to rot, something we absolutely want to avoid, especially with orchids. After 2 weeks of treatment, the leaves show a clear transformation. They're vibrant green, full of life and strength, indicating the plant's improved health. The texture feels firmer and more resilient to the touch, which means the leaves have become tougher and better able to withstand environmental stress. You can also see a natural shine on the surface, showing that the plant is well hydrated and thriving. The flower spike has clearly developed and is showing strong signs of an important change soon. The roots are a deep, healthy green and feel very firm and sturdy to the touch. When you handle them, you can really notice how solid and compact they are, showing that they've absorbed nutrients thoroughly. This complete absorption of minerals has strengthened the root system, making it robust and resilient. A strong root system like this is essential for the overall health of the orchid, helping it to take up water and nutrients sufficiently and supporting vigorous growth above ground. The flowers of this plant bloom in a vibrant, healthy yellow, radiating strength and vitality. The flowers column is large and uniform, showing excellent development and balance. Meanwhile, the leaves have a rich yellow hue that's full of life, reflecting the overall vigor of the plant. This combination of strong blooms and lively foliage is a clear sign of a thriving orchid, well-nourished and cared for. And that's it for today's Orchid Care Update. Thanks so much for watching and joining me on this journey to healthier, stronger plants. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a tip. Drop a comment below to share your own orchid stories or questions. I love hearing from you.